Roaring Kitty. Okay, he did the live stream last week.
Mm-hmm.
600,000 people on a live stream.
Had us waiting
And,
for an hour.
he came on with the ninja bandana
The
and
Band-Aids, like Nelly.
full costume regalia, but it didn't help the situation. Stock dropped
Mm-hmm.
and has continued to drop
Mm-hmm.
ever since. So what's your thoughts on the Roaring Kitty live stream last Friday? And do you think that this GameStop situation has finally come to an end?
I think it's starting to be over. When you sent me the link, I'm like, damn, it's 400,000 people waited. I'm like,
That was
oh,
crazy.
this shit about to go to the moon.
Yeah.
We about to see somebody be up 5, 6, 700 million on a live stream. He was about to get Kyle Sinat out of here, and then he was an hour late.
That's true.
Things. He looked disheveled.
Uh-huh,
I'm not saying he had to come in a suit, but I would have brought the old Market Monday suit back if I was about to hit a Billy. He had the 2 band-aids on like Nelly. I said, oh,
yeah. He
my
went full
God.
Brett. He went Brett Hitman hard. Full.
And got hit. Montreal screw job. I have to say, I admire his chutzpah for being on, and you're down 200 million. I would have been Jamie Foxx in any given Sunday, throwing up on live stream. Couldn't do it. But it just goes to show for everyone who's like, he's a retail investor. He has a Series 7, a Series 3, worked at a couple of firms. I'm here and he's gaining some enemies. When E-Trade says, hey, I'm probably going to close your account soon, that's not a good sign.
Mm-mm.
The fundamentals of the business are horrible. So I don't know if you, and we was talking about this, like, I remember when Market Mondays first started and people was on my ass for recommending Apple and Microsoft, and you're outwardly just pumping your stock up that has no value. I was in GameStop 3 weeks ago. It was 4 people in there. All this short seller bullshit, this narrative that they wanted, like, he's one of them. He just got ousted, right? I do commend him for having his position size into something that he believes in. As a trader and investor, love to see it. But I think it goes to show if the business is not strong, you can't manipulate it even with 600,000-700,000 people watching. And I think people are not feeling like he's one of them anymore. When you get close to getting to $1 billion in a trade for a company that isn't worth anything, then the narrative really isn't in your favor at that point. So I commend him 1,000%. Hopefully the trade works out, but I see just keep sliding down, and I don't see how it gets to that $75, $85 range that he needs. And if it stays underneath 20, it's going to be incredibly tough. Like, it's at 23.86 now, like, not good. Underneath the 72-day moving average, pushing lower. No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was, if anything, it was interesting, right? Like, I did send the link out. I was like, all right, let me just check this out to see what it was. And then, yeah, you're right. The 40-minute late thing was kind of like, okay, I didn't even, the Brian Windhorst thing and the Proctor from Game of Thrones as the thumbnail. I'm like, what? Like, I'm just trying to figure out where's the angle. It really had nothing to do with anything. And then I listened to him talk. And as I'm listening to him for like 10 minutes, I'm realizing that he's not really telling me anything.
At all.
So I'm listening even more, and he's talking about the new CEO and the revenue and the growth and the future of GameStop. And I'm like, well, that sounds good, but you're in a call that ends in 11 days.
Yep.
So if you believe in it, right? Yes, you have the shares. I'm just finding it a little contradictory that you would be in such a short call. And then I thought it felt like to me this was that. And it fails in comparison, but there are some similarities where we saw Elon go on Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
We felt like this was a moment that like he's going to say something that's going to spark this thing to have it run even further. GameStop had run. We hadn't heard from him. We did see a tweet. It ran a little bit more, fell back. We saw another tweet. It ran. And then
it's a profit.
I think if he says nothing, maybe it starts to run even a little bit more. It goes, because it got up to what, $69 after he said the announcement. Then he spoke, and since that point when he spoke, it's dropped 40%. And like you said, you're watching somebody live who's saying I'm down 235 million. So if that was on Friday when it was down 18%, he's probably down at what 420
Easily.
million.
Go do a wellness check on Rowan Kitty.
Well, do you think that it was do you think that they purposely tanked the stock to teach everybody a lesson and to keep everybody in line?
Be careful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, we can say that there isn't a club, but the powers that be, if you're like trying to upset the system, because if he does it, somebody's going to do it at AMC, then there'll be other stocks that are run like this. Now, if you make 10 or 15 million, cool. You're not going to make $1 billion on a live stream and say F you to the entire industry.
Yeah.
Like, the game doesn't work that way. Like, he's Drake right now. The entire hedge fund industry is like Kendrick, and the whole Not Like Us campaign that's going on. Once again, going back to profit margin, for those of you who may think that I'm hating on GameStop before this narrative starts, the profit margin is 0.13%. So not even $1 out of 100 remains in GameStop when $100 comes in. And that's worth $70, 69. God, nah. You have to learn how to make your money quietly, especially if you're making it off some bullshit. Like, come on. So I think they did actively begin to short his position, because everyone's like, okay, he's going to bankrupt the hedge funds and short sellers. That's an entire industry and ecosystem. One person can't bankrupt them. No, BlackRock, we get to it. BlackRock and Citadel just showed you. Okay, great. You want to bankrupt something? We'll make another one in Texas. No. No, you see Putin putting them little ships right by Cuba. It's wartime. You think they're going to let him come take over an industry, and these are family hedge fund businesses that have been run for 100, 200 years, and we're going to let this little kid uproot our industry? No. Cannabis? It's over with.
Nah. And the things like, yes, he does have, I think it was 5 million shares, which, yes, that he holds on to. But the option call he had was for $20, right? And so when it was at 69, you're up, right? But it's slowly approaching.
No liquidity. Yep.
It's slowly approaching that 22 level, right? There's going to be decay on that. This actually could turn negative very, very shortly. And even if
it's the funny part.
it's still,
No,
you still have to sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still have to sell it, because until it's sold, it's unrealized. But there is an opportunity that the obstacle, and again, not the shares that he owns, because right, he holds on to that. But those, you know, if he can't sell it, then it'll be unrealized.
And it's the funny part. After the call expires, watch it goes to $22.
It's gonna go to 30.
Just to rub it in your face. It's like, no, bro. And of course, he had that short call because, you know, long term, if he held it for a year, it wouldn't be worth anything. Like, if you look at most analysts, they have the 1 year target for the stock being $7. There's no liquidity there when you have all those shares. Like, nobody's going to take those shares off you. It's not worth anything. It's probably the worst company probably since the .com to be at this price.
Yeah.
Well, sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things, right? He had a moment. I mean, $1 billion on a live stream, you got to go for it. He went for it. You know, hindsight's 2020. He probably should have, you know,
tried to liquidate.
Maybe he did. Who knows?
We'll see.
Maybe he was liquidating as he was talking. But
that would be legendary.
Count your losses.
I think he was also talking in very, you know, vague terms, because he doesn't want to get in trouble. So fair. You know, he's not trying to like persuade people too much. That's why he's like talking about the leadership of the company. He's pretty much doing what we do on Market Mondays. So it's interesting, but regardless, I mean, the guy's up. He's at least $200 million at least.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
win's a win.
Yeah, 200. Yo, you start at 55, you up
55,000.
55,000.
Yeah.
You're not complaining.
That has to be commended regardless of what the outcome is.
You're a legend.
No, he's Hall of Fame.
Right? Like you're a legend. They made a movie about you, bro.
He's a Hall of Famer. Very inspiring.
Within
my
2
thing
years.
is, will they let him exit above $17? Because they'll rig some shit.
No, they won't let him sell. I mean, that happened to us before. We wasn't able to sell, and that was on 50,000. So I mean, yeah, it's good to have $200 million on paper, but if you can't sell it,
good luck.
You're done.
But that's why the importance of the shares, right? So he can sell his shares.
Maybe. You trying to liquidate $50 million of GameStop shares? That's not like
Somebody has to buy them, and if all the
Exactly.
hedge funds are mad at you, like this is a game that, you know, like you guys, for our audience watching, you know, like if I get to say in certain topics and Troy and Rashad be like, not this one, you can't upset everybody. Why y'all think I'd be like Vanguard, BlackRock? I need some protection. So if he's upsetting the entire industry, the people he needs to sell to hates him now. No, I'm not buying your shares off you. We saw it when that company IPO when we were on the exchange. They're doing deals together. They're acting like they don't like each other. But if BlackRock or Citadel or State Street or Piper won't buy the shares off of him, who is he going to buy them to? The retail traders on Wall Street? Wall Street bets are not fucking with him right now.
You know who might buy it?
Who?
A friend of the show. The good old folks at Robinhood.
Maybe.
He has supported him. He hasn't not
Maybe.
outwardly supported him, but he's never said anything negative about what he's done.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that.
We'll see.